Hi, Paul here from Photogenius. Now, a few days ago, I got a package from those lovely people at Adorama in New York City, and in it were these items here, which they've asked me to test out and review. There's a tripod and a tripod ball head. Now, the tripod I'm still testing out, so that review is coming very soon. This video is all about this tripod ball head. Now, if you don't want to miss out on the tripod review, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Best way of doing that is to click on the Photogenius icon, which you'll see in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Now, I do want to make it clear that I am not being paid or sponsored in any way to make this video. I want to give you my honest opinion on the product. If it's great, I'll tell you, and if it's crap, I'll definitely tell you. So let's start by looking at what a ball head is. A tripod is an essential bit of kit, as I'm sure you know. A tripod consists of two key things: tripod legs and the head. Now, the head is the part of the tripod that allows us to move the camera around and adjust our composition, but then lock it in place so the camera can't move. Now, with this Velbon tripod, of course you can move the head around, but you can't actually remove and change the head. Same with this. This is the Manfrotto B3 travel tripod. In my view, the best travel tripod there is on the market at the moment, but once again, you can't change the head. On this setup, this much larger Manfrotto tripod, you can buy the legs and the head separate. And that's great because then you can choose the tripod head that best suits you and the type of photography you want to do. Now, this is the setup that I use on my photography workshops here in Brisbane. This is a Manfrotto tripod with a three-way head. This has three separate controls that allow you to rotate, pan and tilt the camera around like so. Now, it is a really good tripod head. It's built like a tank, it's rock solid, but some people do find it a little bit fiddly to use. So my personal tripod head of choice is a ball head. This is a Manfrotto ball head. Pop the camera on like so. To use it couldn't be easier. One control, move the camera into position and lock. Really easy. So let's now take a proper look at the FreePod ball head. Here is the box. The packaging, it has to be said, is very, very nice indeed. And inside, not a lot really. I guess the instruction manual, which is important, and the actual ball head itself, which I have to say looks really, really nice. Now, the first thing I noticed about this was how light it was. Just 240 grams. 8.5 ounces, makes it a lot lighter than the Manfrotto ball head that I'm used to using. Standard hole at the bottom there for a tripod, of course. This will fit all standard tripod legs, and on the top, quick release plate. This is the part of the tripod head that comes off. You bolt this onto the bottom of the camera, and it then allows you to get on and off the tripod very, very easily. So it's called a quick release plate, or often just called a QR plate. Generally, I leave this bolted to the camera full time. To remove the quick release plate from the ball head, you pull back the main lever. Now, you'll see that the QR plate will loosen, but it won't come off. This is a safety feature of this ball head. Should this lever get caught on some clothing or maybe the camera strap, without the safety feature, the camera would fall off the tripod. To release the QR plate properly, you push forward the small lever first, pull back the main lever, it locks, off comes the quick release plate. We now attach this to the bottom of the camera. Now, the first thing I noticed when I took the QR plate off is that it is made of metal and not plastic like some. So it's really rock solid, which is a really good thing. The other thing I noticed is it has a striking resemblance to the Manfrotto plates that I use on all my other tripods. More on that in a minute. Now, to ensure your camera is level, there are 1, 2, 3 bubble or spirit levels on this tripod head. But here's a great tip if you're an iPhone user. Pop your iPhone on the top of the tripod head, open up the Compass app and swipe to the left. The iPhone has a level built into it. When it's green, it's level. Insert the QR plate into the ball head and it self-locks. Another nice feature. To move the camera, couldn't be easier. You turn the one lever, this releases the ball head, move the camera into whatever position you like, and then turn the lever to lock the ball head. Very simple. Now, once you've tightened up the lever, The tripod head feels really solid. There's no camera movement at all. And I tested this first with a much lighter Nikon camera. This is the Nikon D3400. But as you can see, I also tested this with a much bigger Nikon body, and this is the 70 to 200 millimeter telephoto lens. This is a much heavier camera lens combination. And again, as long as this lever is tightened, there's absolutely no movement. This is rock solid. Now the great thing about any ball head is ease of use. Just the one lever allows you to move the camera around and place it in any direction you wish. It also allows you to rotate the camera through 360 degrees. Now if you read the manual, this apparently is the panoramic rotation feature, but really it doesn't work. If you want to do panoramics, you want to be able to rotate your camera in small amounts without actually moving the camera itself. And unfortunately you can't do that with this ball head, because to rotate the camera you have to undo the lever, which not only allows you to rotate the camera but also releases the camera. So when you move it, the camera moves as well. So look, if you want to do panoramics, this probably isn't the ball head for you. Unlike the Manfrotto ball head that I use myself quite a lot, which has two levers, that one allows me to move the camera and the rotation independently via two separate levers. So let's quickly talk specs. Now this very small compact ball head weighs in at just 240 grams, which is 8.5 ounces, but is sturdy enough to hold 4 kilograms maximum load, which is 8.8 pounds, which is pretty impressive when you consider the size of it. So it's perfectly suitable for a larger DSLR camera and telephoto lens. Now I want to just go back quickly to talking about the QR plate or quick release plate that you get with this ball head. The Manfrotto QR plates do not fit this ball head. I mentioned earlier that the QR plate you get looks just like the Manfrotto ones, and they do. In fact, it's an exact copy. They look exactly the same. But no matter how much I tried, I could not get the Manfrotto QR plate to fit this ball head, which is a shame because I thought this would integrate nicely with some of the gear, as I've got a lot of Manfrotto gear already, but when I grabbed the camera and I tried to get it to fit, it wouldn't. Look, it's not a deal breaker, but I thought I'd mention it. Now before I give you my final thoughts on this ball head, I bet you're wondering how much it costs. Well, here's the good news. In the US, at the time of recording this video, you can pick up this ball head for around about $20. That's $25 here in Australia, and if you live in the UK, it's only £15. Now if you compare this to the equivalent Manfrotto ball head, which is the 494 RC2, that comes in at around about $90 US. So that makes this pretty good value for money. But is it any good? So my final thoughts on the ball head, well, I've been impressed with it, to be honest. I've been using it for a few days now. I've tried it with lighter DSLR cameras like this Nikon D3400. I've had the Canon 80D on it. I've used the bigger Nikon and telephoto lens, and it hasn't let me down at all. It's held the camera rock solid no matter the weight of the camera. So I'm really impressed. Okay, it's not going to be good if you want to do panoramics. We talked about that, but there are some great features. The bubble spirit levels, handy. The safety catch, really, really good. The metal QR plate, nice touch, not a cheap plastic one. I think, especially when you consider how much this costs, a great ball head and really good value for money. So now I've finished testing it, am I going to use it? Well, to be honest, this isn't going to replace the existing Manfrotto gear that I'm already using, but over the weekend I did use this to do some sports photography. I put it on the top of my monopod and it was absolutely fantastic. So this is now part of my regular kit, and this is where it's going to stay. Thanks Adorama, the 3-pod B series tripod ball head gets a PhotoGenius rating of 4 out of 5. Now thanks to Adorama, I've got a promo code I'd like to share with all my viewers that will save you 10% off the cost of this ball head if you purchase it through Amazon. Amazon can ship worldwide. For more details, look for the link below the video. Just click on the words show more. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I do want to bring you more reviews as well as my usual tutorials. And of course, I welcome feedback and comments down below as well. I hope to see you real soon. See ya.